I am here with Meladee Ryba, and I have had a chance to get to know her over the last month, and it has been a privilege to not only get to know her um, as a really inspiring person, but a very good friend she's becoming. And I just want to introduce her to my viewers and have them get a chance to get to know you, not just the success you've been having in the last couple of months, but just what makes you uniquely you. So I'm going to just kind of turn it over to you. Maybe tell us a little bit about your past, maybe some family history, maybe your history of any kind of businesses or professions you've done before you had unlimited profits, and just kind of just share your heart.
Well, thank you, Lois. And I do. I really look to the times that I get to spend with you. I've really enjoyed our friendship that we've been able to develop. And I love technology because without the technology, we would never be able to just sit and chat like this face to face and really be able to grow that bond between us. So thank you. Thank you very much. A little about me. I'm born and raised in California, so I am a Cali girl through and through. I don't like the cold, so I plan on staying here. Um, I love to I love to look back in my childhood in some ways because I was brought up with a very loving parents. You know, they worked really, really hard to provide for me and my three children, my three siblings. I am the oldest of all of them. So I feel like I grew up with kind of like responsibility to take care and do things that maybe they didn't have to do because they weren't the oldest. So, you know, that was a little bit challenging when I was growing up, but um, they worked really hard to keep us in dance class. Me and my sisters were dancers. We grew up on stage, um, all from that background. And then I got married, had my daughter when I was 20 years old, and I was a very young mom, didn't really know a whole lot, and I had a wonderful fairy tale marriage, which I miss terribly, and I became a stay-at-home mom. I was able to stay at home and homeschool my kids, which, I mean, that's fabulous, right? And being able to stay home and just take care of the family and the house, and it was an awesome job. I loved it. But then a few years ago, I lost my husband, and I found myself as a single parent and a sole provider for my family, at which I failed miserably. With no exaggeration, I say that. We were literally homeless for a year and a half. We had our cars, and when we were lucky, we were in a hotel for a while. No money to buy food, didn't know how I was going to feed my children day to day, rationed anything that I could get, and that's just a terrible, terrible thing because, when your kids are hungry, you want to fill their bellies. You know that they're going to sleep better. You know that they're going to grow better. It's not fun being hungry. So I've gone through those days without eating so I could make sure that they had a little bit. And yeah, I lost my husband and just really I couldn't find a way to provide for my family. Everything I did fell through the cracks, right? So I had a lot of, that failure, the emotion that goes with it, the broken heart, all of these things that just really beat me down, took away my self-esteem, took away my self-worth. Um, my family tried to take my children afterwards, my two boys, and they were going to take them separately to be able to take care of them because I couldn't take care of them. But being that we just lost their dad, I didn't want them to lose each other. They were best buddies, and I didn't want to be without them. So I felt like I was really selfish in trying to keep them with me, but I felt like it was what I needed to do. So to this day, I still don't know if it was the right thing to do. I feel like it was, but I did whatever I could to keep us together no matter what the circumstances.
Oh, sure.
And it really broke my heart. It really tore me up inside, knowing that I couldn't take care of them.
Mm.
And then I was introduced to Robert Hollis and Robert Hollis Jr. through a dear friend of mine, Scott Kloster, who just, I sat and I learned some of the things that they were teaching. I was introduced to network marketing then. And I was only wound up there, not because I wanted to do the business, but because of the effects I had from the product that was with that company. And at that time, I was very, very ill. I had gone through years and years of health issues, everything from lupus to fibromyalgia to kidney failure from the lupus and many strokes and having to relearn to talk and all of these things. And then I was diagnosed with cancer, and at a certain point, they sent me home to die. They said, treatment didn't work for you, and you need to go home and start making preparations, and what's going to happen to your children. So I'm literally packing things that were special to me and literally giving them away to people that I wanted to have them. And so I was introduced to this product by Scott Kloster, who I will eternally call my hero. And after 3 weeks, it was a miracle. My doctor called me and said, there's something wrong with your lab work. We need to retest you, and came to the conclusion that my cancer wasn't in remission. It was completely gone.
That's great.
Completely gone. It just gives me goosebumps every time. So I am now celebrating 5.5 years cancer-free.
Woo.
Yay! And I think that gives me a different perspective on life than a lot of people. I don't take anything for granted. Anything. I always felt like, I had my faith to pull me through those tough times. And even when I felt like I was alone, I knew that I wasn't. But it didn't make living any easier, the circumstances any easier for a long time. But I started to learn from Robert that I wasn't just broken here, I was broken up here. And what I mean by that is I was full. I couldn't see that anything was ever going to get any better. And when I was able to realize that and start making little adjustments, I started seeing little things change in my life for the positive. And then I realized, wow, he really knows what he's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was in this network marketing company, and yeah, it was okay, but I never really had success. I didn't really do it to build it a business. That's not why I was there. So my heart was never really into it. I saw it more of an avenue to build a residual income for my children because I didn't expect to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I wanted them to have something to kind of take care of them. And then in January 2015, I made a commitment. I drew a big line in the sand. I just said, you know what, I'm going to take this year to work on me. I'm going to use this year to work on me through personal development because I was not aware of personal development when I was growing up. I was always taught, I grew up hearing terms like pipe dreams. Like there were things that you wanted but would never ever happen. And that's what I grew up thinking. They were just wishes that will never come true. Mm-hmm. So through personal development and unlimited profits, I really plugged in. And then I asked Robert, I said, will you personally mentor me? Right? Because I knew of his success. I was privy to a lot of the people that I had met personally that he had created as part of those 45 millionaires. I knew them. I saw how successful they were. I saw the lifestyles they were living. And I knew that whatever Robert had, whatever he knew, I needed to know that. I needed to I needed to give myself a chance to find out what it was that I did not know. I needed to educate myself. So I really plugged into the training and the mentoring. And I'll tell you, honestly, there were growing pains. You know, Robert would say, "Okay, Meladee, I need you to do this, this, and that." And I go, "Well, this and this is easy, but that makes me uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that." And to be honest, I put it off. I put it off. I put it off. And it's just like saying, "Okay, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to learn this, but I'm only going to pick the chapters of this book that I think I need." It doesn't work that way. Yeah, we get a little bit of information, but I wanted the same results Robert had. So I had to do what Robert said. I said, okay, I asked him to mentor me. So I need to do exactly what he tells me. So that was to start branding myself and creating videos on YouTube.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine that anybody would ever see them, honestly. I asked Robert on the phone, I remember asking him, what am I going to talk about? What could I possibly say that anybody would care to listen to? I don't know anything. Why? And it wasn't until I made my first video, and it was on comfort zones, by the way, because I was way out of mine, and I was trembling. I don't know if you could see that in the video, but I was trembling. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, but I just started talking, rambling, kind of like what I'm doing now. That's basically what I do best, is ramble. And I had 56 people contact me from all over the world from that first video, almost within the first 24 hours.
You struck a chord.
And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Now, I don't know these people. I don't know how they even found me. But it was because I wasn't that polished person. I wasn't that person that was out there selling something or trying to pitch something. I was just talking about my feelings and how I felt. And apparently, people like that because there are a lot of people that can relate to that. And they're going, thank you for sharing. I thought I was the only one that felt this way.
Right.
Going, that's incredible. So then I do another video. And I talked about being approachable. And then I get more people contacting me going, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of it that way. You know, and because I was so shy and timid and I wouldn't make eye contact with people that I didn't know if I didn't have to, my good friends told me they thought I was unapproachable when they met me. I'm like, are you kidding? You know, I'm as nice as the next guy, but yeah, I fall into this pattern in life that we just keep doing. We think that's the way it should be, and we don't think outside the box and how people are perceiving us, right?
Right.
So I learned so much from Robert, and I started to brand myself. But more importantly, I started to go through the training, and I started to implement it. I started to put it into action, and yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. You know, it wasn't all that easy for me because I wouldn't think things through sometimes, or I'd try to take shortcuts. You know, those shortcuts are just like kind of every time we take a shortcut, it's like making one leg shorter, and we're trying to run this race, and that leg keeps getting shorter and shorter, and we're going, why aren't we getting to the finish line? Well, that's what was happening to me. And then, as I was going through the training, I started to see my self-esteem grow, my self-confidence. I found my self-worth. I know I have something valuable inside me and a purpose for my life and now I have a vehicle with Unlimited Profits to be able to use to be able to fulfill my passion in life, and that's to help other people all over the world. You know, I knew I wanted to help people, and I always did here and there as I could, but I have a vehicle now that I can make a difference and go out there and touch lives and make a difference in other people's lives. And that's what excites me. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what has me singing and dancing in my office and in my bathroom every morning. I'm so excited to be
Absolutely.
alive. You know, I'm just so excited to have this. So seeing all these things change in me is great. But as I share them with other people, when I share and I start to see the changes in them, like Scott Kloster, oh my gosh, what a different person. The growth that he's had. Sharing it with other people and seeing the difference in them. Hearing that it's helping in relationships. Hearing that it's helping in getting job promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Helping, you know, advance people in their careers, and or being able to stay at home as a mom because she doesn't want to be away from her children. And she has to go to work all day and leave her kid and let somebody else raise her kid all day long. So all of these things just fuel my ambition, you know. I just love it. Absolutely love it. And it really isn't hard. You just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Robert talks about mastering the mundane and just, you know, learning to do one thing and do it well and just keep doing it and doing it. And I see so many people go, well, it's not working. Oh, I can't get people to talk to me. Oh, this and that. I'm like, well, how many people did you talk to? I talked to 5 this week. Like, 5 people, really? I'm talking to people all day long. You know, it takes time. I treat this like a full-time job. It's been able to replace my full-time income. And, you know, I had a job before that I had to drive sometimes 300 to 500 miles a day and still be a single parent. And thinking, what are my kids doing at home?
Sure.
You know, what are they getting into? Who's at my house right now? You know, are they eating? Or are they just eating junk food? You know, you think about these things as a mom. And I was putting so many miles on my car, and I was so exhausted. I don't have to leave my office now. I can be sitting here barefoot in my office all day long, or I could be laying out by the pool and doing the same thing and be able to meet with people all over the world and just be blessed every day by it.
That's great. Somewhere along your training, you had what Robert calls a POP, or point of passion. Could you explain or share with us that?
You know, to be honest, my pop happened before the training.
Really?
I knew when I knew at the beginning of the year when I decided I needed to do something and I needed to really make a commitment to it. That was a pop, right? Now my kids are basically living on their own, and I don't want to be homeless. I don't want that lifestyle anymore. I don't want the stress. Stress makes us sick. I don't want to ever be sick again. I don't want to not be able to afford to go to the doctor. I don't want to die. God has a purpose for me here. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to be a better me and to grow myself so I can fulfill God's purpose in my life. So yeah, there are pops, there are points of passion along the way. But I'll tell you that first pro mentoring, if they can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Wow, it was like, you know, could I have a V8 commercial? It's like, okay. Now, if Robert can do this and other people can do this, I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, but you know what? I can work hard. And even if I only get this much of the success that Robert got, I'm good. And
Good.
I think that I was like, I just need a little bit. I just need to get myself on track to be able to believe in myself.
Okay.
Believe that no matter what I decide to do, I can achieve that. And that's what I get from this training. That's what I get from it. I'm watching all of these limiting beliefs just, kind of falling off every day, more and more, and having people tell me, Melody, get a real job. My kids, Mom, get a real job. But these are people that just don't believe, they don't know what we have here. They haven't taken the time to inform themselves so they can make an educated decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. We're just looking for people that want a change in their life. They're unhappy with something in their life and they want that help. Oh my gosh, Robert is so documented when it comes to helping people that I would be a fool if I didn't listen to him.
Agree.
I'd be a fool. And every single day, I'm still growing. I'm still going through the training. I'm going through it for my 6th time. Every time I go through it, my notes are so different from the first time than the time that I'm going through now because I'm growing all through it. And I compare it to like, you ever go to church and hear a scripture and it means something to you, but then you hear it maybe a year later, 6 months later, or years later, and it means something completely different?
It does. You bring something
That's
else
what
with it.
it is.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're in a different place in our life, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I just find it fabulous. I can't wait to go through it next time to see what else I get out of it because, and it's just, I've just been really blessed because I put it into action. Within my first 30 days, I've been able to make $1,000.
Wow.
Just earning while I'm learning. Okay, and that's the mentality I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here because I want to make a ton of money. I'm here because I need to change this. I need to change this. I need to change my lifestyle. I need to get to where I have complete belief in anything that I do. Right?
Right.
So being able to earn while I'm learning is fabulous. Now, my 2nd month, while I'm sharing it, because I'm so excited about it, and I just know that, oh my gosh, this person would love this, or this person could use it, or, oh, this training made me think of this person. And I'm just so excited when I'm sharing it that it gets other people excited to look at it. Right?
Right.
There are some people in my life that I would love to see benefit from it, but they don't want to participate in their own rescue. Right? There are some people that I think no matter what solution you can give them, they're not going to take hold of it. They won't have anything to complain about if they fix it. And I think that's what drives some people, just kind of wallowing. I don't want to be that person. I never wallowed out loud. I always did it in private, but yeah, I beat myself up a whole lot. Well, now I'm patting myself on the back every day because I committed to something and I'm seeing things change. I committed to something. I was able to replace a full-time income in 60 days. I'm not walking away from this. I want to keep growing. I know there's so much more in me. I've got so many things in my future that I want to achieve now. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
It kind of
So,
changes the whole outlook, doesn't it now?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am such a different person. I hardly recognize myself. Really. I liked who I was before. I liked who I was on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't know how to get past myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to get past all the things that were happening all the time. And I've been keeping a journal for many years.
Uh-huh.
Many years since I had my first child, and everything. And I'll tell you, I was having a conversation with my mom recently, and she said, I told her, I said, one day I think I want to put this in a book. And she said, Melody, with all the horrible things that have happened in your life, nobody will believe all that happened to you. She says, I know because I was there. But she said, people won't believe all of that happened to you. Do you know those people that there's always a tragedy?
Mm-hmm.
There's always, and it might not even be in their control, but it just seems like everything came into my life. Everything, everything. And it wasn't what I was doing, but I'm wondering now, if
Mm-hmm.
I knew now some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Secret and the whole law of attraction thing. Now, again, I was brought up to believe that was a bunch of, silliness. But oh my gosh, am I seeing it work now? Maybe it was working then, and maybe because I always had something going on, something wrong. I was always sick. I was always in the hospital. I was this person and then the car and then, just everything. Everything. And it seemed like one after the other. It's not like, okay, 6 months go by and something else happens. But now I'm seeing it work in a positive way.
Yeah.
Now I'm having people come to me that are positive, and I've really changed who I hang around. I get to hang out with Robert Hollis and Robert Hollis Jr. and positive people like you and so many others. I get to pick who I have in my life.
Yep.
It doesn't mean I don't love those people that don't, that are in that negative zone,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't spend as much time with them. I just pray for them from afar.
I love you, but
Right. Yeah, no, I do. I don't know how to help some people. And Robert said, Melody, stop trying to drag the bodies with you.
that's a good point.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was body dragging. No more. No more. I'll help them in another way when I can, but I'm not dragging them.
You're there for them when they're ready to help themselves.
Right. Right. So,
Well, your time is so valuable. I'm not going to keep you much longer. I know you've got another meeting to get to, but I love your inspiration. I love how excited you are about all of this, and you are just so willing to reach out. It doesn't matter who the person is. You're just so excited to see them get what you have. I mean, you pretty much are following Robert's pattern because you want to pay it forward, and you're doing it. And I just think it's been a blessing. I know it's only been a month that I've known you, but I just feel so excited and blessed to be your friend and to be getting to know you and to see how you've grown. And I hear your story, and I know a little bit of your past, and I'm like, it's a beautiful thing to see in you. And I just wanted other people to get to meet you and know who this person is that people are talking about on the leaderboard. But more importantly, it's not about your status so much as it is about who you are as a person. And I just really wanted people to get a chance to meet you and the viewers to know who Melody is. So I really appreciate you taking your time to share your story.
well, thank you, Lois. Anytime that I get to spend with you is awesome, and I really feel like we've got that sisterly bond here. And I don't say that a whole lot to people, but I feel like we've got that connection, and I am so looking forward to seeing what happens with your success and how it changes your life. And anybody would be a fool if they didn't have time to listen and inform themselves so they could make an educated decision on what you're sharing with them.
Thank you.
Love you to pieces. I'll
Yeah,
be talking to you soon.
you too, Melody. I thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.